How's it going, everyone? Got quite a bit to talk about in this video. We are coming up on a year of PlayStation Plus redesigning into the system that it is today, with PlayStation Plus Extra, PlayStation Plus Premium, and obviously the Essential tier that has been around for a while. And GamesIndustry.biz has a pretty in-depth interview on PlayStation Plus. Head of subscriptions Nick McGuire talks a little bit about the game service, as well as first-party titles coming to the service. Alright, again, PlayStation Plus marking 1 year of Plus Extra and Premium, and Nick McGuire spoke to GamesIndustry.biz, noting we're very excited about it. I don't have any more to share about it today because we're in the testing phase and we'll provide more update once it's ready. That is as far as the streaming capabilities on PlayStation 5 goes. Outside of PlayStation 5 game streaming, of course, this month we have a plethora of new titles being added to the service as a part of their monthly rollout. Far Cry 6, Shredder's Revenge, Rogue Legacy 2, Inscription, also adding Solstice on PS5, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, and so much more. You've got Killzone Liberation joining the Plus Premium catalog, which is nice. And on top of that, a lot more has been discussed about Plus and its future. And with the iteration and the inclusion of PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium, essentially what Sony had done was fuse their existing PlayStation Plus subscription service with PlayStation Now. PlayStation Now never got a ton of attention, but that service did offer a catalog of games for you to try out. However, that catalog is being expanded much more so with this new PlayStation Plus. McGuire noted, and that's from a wider base of players. We're pretty confident that's down to the quality of diversity that we're putting into the game portfolio. It makes Plus attractive to many people, and we've continued to find high-quality, high-caliber titles. That means that there's something for nearly everyone. Stray has brought in the highest number of players that have accessed the title over the first 12 months, and Ghost of Tsushima has brought in the highest number of hours of gameplay. People have really stuck around and really invested in that game. That goes to the strength of our PlayStation Studios titles, which have seen great engagement and lots of excitement. Remember that Stray was one of the few games over the last year or so that has been a PlayStation Plus Day 1 title, and that game already just had an immense amount of interest leading into the release. Like, if you looked at the social media numbers that game was pulling, it's kind of ridiculous for a smaller scale release like that. Since then, there have been a couple titles here and there that have been Day 1 releases. Humanity, Chia, and later this month, you will have Rogue Legacy 2, which Rogue Legacy 2, to be fair, has already been out on PC, and Xbox Series X and S, and I believe on Nintendo Switch as well. Now it's finally getting its PlayStation release, so it is a Day 1 title as far as the PlayStation release goes, but it's been on other platforms for a while. McGuire continued, 4 of the top 10 over the year have been PlayStation Studios titles, whether that's Spider-Man Miles Morales, Horizon Forbidden West, and even Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. I wonder if, like, you would think that Spider-Man 1 would have been in that list, but, like, it wasn't mentioned outright. I don't know, I feel like Spider-Man 1 would have been played more than Miles Morales. That's just my 2 cents. But obviously, Spider-Man 2018 has been pulled from the PlayStation Studios titles that are available in Plus Extra, which is kind of lame, but, you know, I've been a broken record about that. That's climbing very quickly and growing month on month. These exclusive titles are really what's resonating. It's bringing people in, and those exclusive titles are coming years after their initial release, or in the case of Horizon Forbidden West, it was at least a year after it initially came out on PlayStation 5, where it ultimately did come to the PlayStation Plus Extra service. However, as far as putting older games into the platform, or Day 1 games into the platform, McGuire did note this. We're happy with our strategy, he says. Putting games in a bit later in the lifecycle has meant that we can reach more customers 12, 18, 24 months after they have released. We're seeing customers still get excited about those games and jumping in. For us, that's working. Occasionally, there will be an opportunity to invest in a day-and-date title like Stray, and of course, Rogue Legacy, Humanity. There have been a couple games that have been like that, and we'll jump on those when they come in. But for us, letting those first-party games go out to the platform outside of the service first, that's working, and that'll continue to be our strategy moving forward. Look, even if games are priced at $70, why don't you go look at the sales numbers of God of War Ragnarok? Why don't you go look at the sales numbers of some of these major titles that have been released? They're still selling incredibly well, and if you think Sony's gonna step away from selling, you know, 5 million copies of God of War Ragnarok, 4 million copies of Last of Us Part 2, like Day 1, or week 1, I should say, that's a lot of revenue they'd be leaving on the table, and at the end of the day, that would be, in all honesty, a business malpractice when it comes to Sony. Yes, would it expand PlayStation Plus Extra a little bit more? Sure, but would it make up the lost revenue that you're getting off of selling these games for $70? And once you put those first-party games into that service, it's very hard to take them out. Like, once the toothpaste is out of the tube, you can't really put it back in. So if you go to a point where you're just going all in and every $70 release, every AAA release is on PlayStation Plus, and then you come to the realization that, hey, this may have not been the best business strategy, you've already conditioned the consumer to think, oh, I'm only spending $10 a month. I should be getting these games for $10. You can't just turn around easily and start selling them for $70. So when it comes to that, you do have to be a little bit careful in offering your games on Plus Extra like that right away, and it definitely seems like Sony is taking the more cautious approach. I like what Microsoft is doing, and especially from a consumer standpoint, why would I complain about it? Look, people are going to be able to play Starfield for $10 a month with their subscription service, and that's a gargantuan of a game, and for Microsoft, that's the path that they see going forward, and Microsoft's business strategy and Sony's business strategy, definitely very different. Xbox is not just a console anymore. It's on PC, it's on the cloud. They just want to get Game Pass subscriptions sold and getting people playing everywhere, but Sony's still very much attached to that PlayStation ecosystem. The console itself, even if they are putting their games on PC, you're talking games coming to PC years after their initial release. So there's a lot you have to take into account when it comes to that, and I think, expecting first-party titles day one on PlayStation Plus Extra at any point, that's just gonna be, that's just not gonna happen, so I don't expect that to happen. He also spoke a little bit about service-based titles on subscription platforms, noting we are constantly working out what the right strategy is moving forward. How are player habits going to evolve, and how do we make sure the service meets the future habits? No more I can say on that at the moment, but obviously we are keeping close to it and thinking about the role Plus can play moving forward. Also, McGuire gave the same answer when asked if the service could also arrive on PC, considering, them doing more with PC. Ultimately, the team is listening and learning as they go, and they do have a few surprises already. I was personally surprised that Premium has ended up being a bigger share of the base than Extra. We all thought that Extra would be where the majority of players went to first, but actually Premium has been more popular and bigger. That's a pleasant surprise. I do think part of that is people kind of got duped into expecting that Premium would have a lot of major rollouts every month as far as classics titles go, but that's just my 2 cents. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe people are extremely satisfied with Plus Premium, but from what I mostly hear, people are incredibly disappointed by it. He also noted, and I'm surprised as how similar things are country to country, region to region. There are clearly some exceptions, but by and large, the top 20 with a few different orders are generally the same between countries. There are countries where they prefer different titles, but on average, it's really similar in the mix. I don't think anything has told us we need to change course. It's about finding how we add new features that players want, new games that people are asking for that we don't have, and other benefits that they're asking for. How do we keep the service relevant, make it more valuable, and bring more players in? He spoke a little bit more about the engagement and everything like that. I'll leave a link to the article in the description box below. A lot of interesting insight into PlayStation Plus. I think this is information, most of us could come to the conclusion of. Day one first-party titles, probably just not gonna happen. They're rather gonna move towards things like offering game streaming as a benefit, offering existing titles as a benefit. Horizon Forbidden West coming a year later, I really think that's the best that you're gonna get. And even in the case of Forbidden West, that was kind of to set up the release of Burning Shores, which you did ultimately still have to pay for. And I ultimately see that's what Sony's gonna do in the future. This tiered way of monetizing their games for a longer period of time. Because if you see, they kind of follow a certain structure now. A lot of first-party games will come out, then they'll get some sort of expansion, then they'll get rotated into Plus Extra, or they'll get rotated into Plus Extra first, and then the expansion comes out, and then they'll ultimately come to PC as well. That's happened with Horizon Zero Dawn, where Horizon came out with Frozen Wilds, then came to PC. Happened with Spider-Man. Spider-Man came out, City That Never Sleeps, PC. Ghost of Tsushima, I would have to imagine that that's going to be happening as well, with Ghost of Tsushima coming out, Iki Island Director's Cut coming out, and then ultimately to PC as well, and obviously at some point with all of those games, adding them to Plus Extra along the way. But that is going to do it for me. Definitely interested to hear what you guys think. Sound off all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.